Hey everybody, this is Kevin here. New video today. First and foremost, if my voice seems a little off, that would be because I believe I'm coming down with a bit of an illness. But being the trooper that I am, I shall persist. I shall overcome the illness and give to you, my valued listeners, a piece of my mind. Over the course of this weekend, news story came out regarding a journalist by the name of Seymour Hersh and a speech that he gave at the University of Minnesota. And he alluded to an assassination unit that was in operation under the direct supervision of former Vice President Dick Cheney. And that this assassination unit is still very much in action today under the man who professed change, that guy named Obama. And first and foremost, I'm not terribly shocked by this revelation, and I'm sure the book that Mr. Hirsch is writing will reveal far more than I ever could in these few minutes. But I'm not terribly shocked by this news. The arrogance of the Bush White House, the arrogance of Dick Cheney, the arrogance of the former president himself, and their penchant for warmongering doesn't make this news any the least bit surprising to me. In fact, I almost would have accepted it as par for the course, considering their bloodthirsty warmongering 8 years in the White House. Now, one of the things that those two men were big believers in, big proponents of, was this notion that people around the world, especially the terrorists, hated Americans because of our freedoms. Well, I've got a slightly different spin on that. I've got a sneaking suspicion that one of the reasons that people around the world, and terrorists in particular, despise Americans is because we send covert operatives into their countries without permission to kill people. I know, I'm going out on a limb on this one, but I got a feeling it's stuff like that that makes them dislike us. Or better yet, another thing that they might dislike about Americans is the fact that we believe ourselves to be the paragon of all that is righteous and proper in this world, that Americans can do no wrong. Now, of course, I should quantify this. I don't talk about Americans as in me and you and average Joe. I'm talking about the American government. The American government has tarnished mine and your reputation as Americans. And they do it by meddling in the affairs of various countries and various regions, bases in Saudi Arabia, meddling in Africa, meddling in Eastern Europe, meddling in the Korean Peninsula, meddling in Central America, propping up dictators to oppress people, and then going in and fighting a war to get rid of the oppressors that they propped up. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. I'm starting to notice that it's that, and it's sending in these assassination units without permission, that causes people around the world and the terrorists to have such a horrible perception of Americans. Now, of course, if the former president and the former vice president were to see this, they would clearly say I'm probably a terrorist because I would make such an assertion. I'm simply using common sense, rationality. If Namibians came to America and put in covert assassination units and started killing Americans without the government's permission, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most Americans were not going to like Namibians afterwards. It's just a guess. Just a guess. I guess I just wanted to bring some common sense to the last 8 years and put these assassination units in perspective. I guess the main points that I want you to take away from this is change does not mean continuing the covert assassination operations of the previous presidency. Bloodthirsty warmongers like George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, yeah, you can pretty much expect that they're going to have covert assassination units that go into countries without permission and kill people. And of course, the main point that I really want to get across is it's probably that type of stuff, not the fact that we're free. It's probably sending in these assassination units to kill people without permission, stuff like that. That's probably why people around the world have such a negative perception of Americans. And that's probably why the terrorists really hate us. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video.